and welcome to Tuesday Newsday, your #1 resource for the entire week's worth of VR news. Some really interesting Apple leaks regarding their supposed AR VR headset, Facebook has a case of serious indecisiveness regarding their core systems, and a ton of game updates including an entire recap of the Oculus showcase. That and so much more, but first, a word from our sponsor. This episode of Tuesday Newsday is brought to you by Dashlane. Fills all your passwords and payments across all of your devices. You can find the download in the description, but I'll tell you more about Dashlane later in this video. For now, it's time to get right into the news. Everyone, do me a favor and give a round of applause to HTC. Not for that, God no, not that, but instead for this. HTC has announced a partnership with iFixit to make the repair of HTC VR equipment far easier, faster, and cheaper, but it goes way deeper than that. This is specifically about HTC making a stance to support the right to repair, and that's why HTC deserves a little slow cap. Here's what they had to say on Twitter, quote, "Hardware failures are a bummer. That's why we've partnered with iFixit to make repairs to your Vive equipment easier than ever. We support your right to repair," end quote. Basically, in case you don't know, the right to repair legally covers everyone's butts from getting sued or warranties dropped by companies that don't want you to repair or take apart their devices or equipment. Here's a pretty simple sum up of right to repair. Quote, "The main idea is to create legislation that will ensure manufacturers stop making products that are hard to fix, thus forcing you to buy a new device, which eventually leads to the creation of waste," end quote. So all in all, this move brings faster customer support, cheaper repairs, longer lasting devices, plus in some ways it's even better for the environment. Big win. Facebook held the very first Oculus gaming showcase just last week, and we got a ton of awesome information regarding upcoming VR games. This comes at a really great time too, as I've been worried all year about the lack of VR games launching this year, so the showcase definitely gave me some things to look forward to. A quick recap, Pistol Whip is receiving a free narrative update themed in the Wild West called Pistol Whip Smoke and Thunder Update. Set to launch this summer, I know I'm pumped for it. Resident Evil 4 was officially announced to be coming as a revamped Oculus Quest 2 exclusive. I'm not happy about the exclusive part, but I'm extremely excited to play Resident Evil 4 in VR. The port looks like a lot of love and care was taken to adapt the game to a first-person VR perspective. Warhammer 40k is receiving a multiplayer update. Part 2 of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge was announced. I Expect You to Die 2, sequel to one of my favorite goofy VR games out there. And from the creators of Arizona Sunshine, After the Fall was announced because, well, we all know that VR doesn't have enough zombie shooters, right? Just kidding, this game actually looks pretty cool. Wraith Oblivion Afterlife is also looking good still, but the two heavy hitters this event were definitely Walking Dead Saints and Sinners receiving a pretty awesome looking update soon, that's free as well, and Lone Echo 2 was officially given a time for its release. If you know this channel much, Lone Echo is historically one of my favorite games of all time, and I've been waiting for the sequel for years and it's been delayed over and over, but Lone Echo 2 is coming. However, it's not going to be for the Quest or Quest 2, and instead it will be released as a PC VR Oculus exclusive. I was really hoping that the Quest 2 would get Lone Echo and Lone Echo 2. I was willing to live with the graphical downgrade if it meant that more people get to experience the game, but like I said, it's a PC VR exclusive and it's going to be coming summer 2021. I've got more Oculus news, but first I want to talk about our main topic today, the Magic Leap 2, which was officially announced this past week to be coming late Q4 2021 and Q1 2022. In case you don't know what the Magic Leap is, it's got an incredibly interesting story. Let me explain. It's sort of a flopped AR headset that launched a few years ago, way ahead of its time and way too expensive and not enough software support. The original Magic Leap was and is pretty capable, to be honest. I mean, look at some of this footage captured with a GoPro through the lens from Tested. It's pretty cool. The Magic Leap was really sick and is still one of the better AR experiences you can have to this day, but at launch in 2018, it cost more than $2,000, pretty much limiting it to hardcore AR believers and enterprise partners who were led to believe that this is the next big thing. Well, billions of dollars of investor money spent later, and the company laid off more than 1,000 employees, swapped CEOs, and practically restructured themselves after becoming one of the biggest busts in tech startup history. Well, Magic Leap is back, and here are some of the specs regarding the Magic Leap 2. Maybe a device finally launching at the right time rather than way too early. And some of the specs have me pretty excited. Noted to be 50% smaller, 20% lighter, and have a 100% larger field of view. Look, the first Magic Leap was pretty groundbreaking and showed a ton of potential, but just couldn't stack up software-wise or price-wise to the HoloLens or HoloLens 2. But this new device is looking to be pretty sweet and posed to be a decent competitor to Microsoft's HoloLens 2, which still costs $3,500 at the least. As long as Magic Leap can launch a strong product with a good software package and severely undercut the HoloLens 2 price, I can expect that the Magic Leap 2 will perform far better at market than the first iteration did. But that's not exactly hard to do. Still, to be honest, when you do the math, the field of view only hits around 55 degrees horizontal, it's still kind of heavy at 250 grams, and it's still likely to be expensive. So as happy as I am that Magic Leap isn't gone from the face of the earth, I'm definitely going to be staying a little skeptical until the final product hits market. And back onto Facebook and Quest 2 news, of course. Facebook is incredibly indecisive regarding their avatar systems, to say the least. Facebook recently announced that they will be rolling out a brand new avatar system starting with VR headsets and Oculus applications, and eventually moving that same avatar system all the way to Instagram and Facebook itself. So now, not only will games be using your persona or avatar, other Facebook-related services will as well. Oddly enough, this comes hot off the heels of Facebook's last avatar system, which was introduced with Facebook Horizon, wherever that is. And I personally think that that avatar system looked awful. It was just lifeless and extra cartoony. I don't know, it just wasn't for me. But these new avatars will now replace that avatar system in Facebook Horizon, as well as other things system-wide. If you've been watching the past few years, it legit feels like every few months Oculus scraps an entire avatar system that other game devs actually rely on, and it's kind of weird. But this Avatar 2.0 supposedly allows for more customization. Facebook says there are more than 1 quintillion variations of avatars, which is cool. I personally like my avatars with legs though, just saying. But now it's time for a meme break! Trying to get V28 be like summoning the Zuck to bless the Quest 2 with Airlink. Nah, but seriously, V28 should be out this week for everybody, so no more pentagrams or sketchy V28 zips needed. But now, back to the news. So Apple recently held an event called the Spring Loaded event in spring, which makes sense. And unfortunately, even though we did get $30 AirTags with a keyring that costs more than the actual device, there really was no mention of AR or VR, even though there has been a ton of leaked information the past few months regarding something VR from Apple coming soon. And according to a new link, which is a little sketchy to be honest, that basically the entire AR and VR projects at Apple have been postponed by as much as a year. This is what the report had to say. Quote, Apple did not start PT prototype testing for its AR and VR glasses as expected by its supply chain partners in first quarter 2021, which means it is unlikely for the device to begin volume production in first quarter 2022, according to industry sources, end quote. Tons of leaks from different sources have been claiming an AR/VR hybrid may be coming this year or at the latest next year, but that's likely going to be a little later than expected if this is true. Right now, the general consensus regarding Apple and XR devices is that 2 devices are being created. One that resembles a Quest 2 style VR headset, standalone, but has better pass-through, and the other device coming way later, as late as 2025, are straight up AR glasses, likely as a companion to an iPhone. Now, you may be wondering, why do I even care? In typical Apple fashion, it's probably going to be way too expensive and not all that capable on release with the small game and app catalog. But for many people, an Apple VR headset may be the first time they'd ever even consider buying into VR. It will bring an entirely new demographic to virtual reality, and I accept that full-heartedly. And let's be totally real here. If Apple stuffed the M1 chip into an iPad Pro, they can do it to a VR headset. And sorry to say it, but if Apple makes a standalone VR headset with an M1 chip, I don't know if anything can really compare to it other than PC VR, at least not right now. I'm definitely not saying that's going to happen, but it's within the realm of possibility. The M1 has already proven to be a pretty powerful and power-efficient chip and could provide near desktop level performance without a desktop. Of course, if there are no good games or apps for the platform, it will flop, but Apple does have enough sway to get people to develop for it. So honestly, I'm not too worried about app libraries at the moment. But enough with Apple leaks and Apple Apple, moving on. If you don't know what VRTREND is, it's pretty much the only real physical VR-centric magazine out there. And I've been meaning to talk about it for a long time actually, and this probably won't be the last time either. The magazines are super high quality, and it makes me really happy that VR has something like this in the community. And you get a cool poster with every release. And it turns out that VRTREND just set up an interview, and they're doing a special spot on me and this channel. And just clearing this up, I'm not getting anything for this. This is not an advertisement. I just want to help and promote a really cool company doing something awesome for VR. And if you do want to check out a pretty exclusive interview and just a cool product in general, you should definitely check out their Patreon. It's pretty cheap, super high production value, and you'll get a special Thrill issue. How thrilling is that? And that wasn't an ad, I promise, but this one is. Password security has always been kind of a pain. First, you have to remember long, complex passwords, and on top of that, you're not supposed to have the same passwords across multiple accounts. Otherwise, you're putting yourself at a security risk. And that's why I use Dashlane. Dashlane is a service that takes all the pain out of secure passwords. Whether I'm on the phone, computer, or another device, Dashlane does both. It stores all my passwords, payments, and personal information in a secure place that only I can access, and it autofills the data for me on every site in just a click. Dashlane is powered by patented security technology and machine learning, which is why it consistently ranks as the best password manager available. No matter the device or browser you're using, it makes every shopping experience a one-click checkout, stores all your passwords so you're never locked out of an account, and provides a VPN for streaming content and secure browsing. To give it a try for free on your first device, go to dashlane.com/ThrillSeeker and use my promo code ThrillSeeker to get 50% off if you want to upgrade to one of the other paying plans. Make sure to leave a question of the week below. I'll be answering 2 next week because we missed this week. I will be streaming on Twitch today after this video, so come on by. I'd love to see you there. Also, join up in my Discord server for one of the best VR communities on the planet. Meetups, giveaways, friends, always a good time. Discord.gg/thrill. I want to thank all of my Patreon supporters. You legit make all of this possible. Especially my Omegas like Benji, Atomally, Biz, CPCJ79, Destroyer Biscuit, Furtrap, Fusion Oak, HCG Randon, I'm Naku, It's Lumi, Jonathan, KR, Lucid VR, Mud King, Ridbo, Ronzarelli, Skirt Cobain, That Brock Guy, Very Evil Shadow, and Zale. And like always, don't forget to like this video if you loved it, subscribe if you want more of this, and hit that freaking bell if you just can't live without it. Much love, Thrill out.